Hi guys, it's Dave, and I want to talk about the Platinum Cup and why I think people are looking at it the wrong way. Personally, I just don't see it as a competitive event. First thing I want to do, though, is apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit sick. I'm not feeling super great, but I do want to keep with my schedule. So I'm doing a video anyway. Not making excuses. I just want to let you know that. That way, wow, David, you sound really weak. I'm a little bit weak. All right, well, we're going on. Why wasn't Platinum Cup a serious event? Well, let me lay down 3 reasons that I don't think it was a serious event. First one, it was only 2 rounds. I mean, literally 2 rounds. West and the East fought each other, then, boom. Winners decided and third place is decided. That's not something that, happens in a normal tournament. 2, subs were turned off. And 3, it wasn't really seeded properly. I mean, let's be honest. If we were going to seed a tournament properly by usually just, strongest team fights the weakest team, second strongest team fights the third strongest team, it should have been Liblent versus Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming, obviously, I'm putting them as a weaker team because they just got beat by SCDX and Inkstorm. GG Boys versus SCDX. I mean, let's be honest. The Japanese teams are stronger teams. And that would have been the seeding, and probably would end up Liblent fighting GG Boys. And what was their matchup, I think, was probably the best set of the Platinum Cup. Really cool to see Liblent come back and turn that into a Game 5. Enjoyed watching them. But those are the reasons why I think it wasn't like a super serious tournament. And I think a lot of people were kind of disappointed in that because with the way Inkstorm was, it being like a major and like a super huge prize pool, you almost think the event that, sort of leads, that it leads into it, with Inkstorm leading into Platinum Cup, I should say. The Platinum Cup would be like a degree even bigger than that. And it wasn't. It was a goodwill event. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. It was a goodwill event. Western scene and the Eastern scene coming together. There was a lot of great pictures, and to be honest, I think that's the best thing that came out of the Platinum Cup is seeing pictures of different players hugging each other from the Japanese Splatoon community and the Western Splatoon community. Really cute picture of Hexen, another Japanese player. They exchanged jerseys, and they each one was wearing each other's jerseys. Thought that was really cute. A lot of good pictures of Japan. It's kind of a good tourism event for Japan as far as, if some Splatoon players want to go on vacation there. All of that was really cool. And I think that was really the big win for the Platinum Cup. The real purpose of the Platinum Cup was just sort of build a bridge in between the two communities. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done. I think the biggest issue right now is there's no shared platform for gameplay. OpenRec and Nico Nico Video are really laggy for Western people, and they don't really use Twitch streams at all. So that would be the one thing that I think would really help the community mesh, but at the moment isn't there. And the other thing I kind of want to bring up, if you look at what it really is, like I said, a goodwill event, it's hard to argue that Ghost Gaming and Set to Destroy X were not the best 2 teams to send to that event. I'm still upset about the whole issues with Inkstorm, and given the fact that what Platinum Cup really was, I almost kind of wish Inkstorm didn't happen, because that was kind of the one thing I think that kind of scarred the event was all that controversy surrounding the top 2 teams not being able to go. But given the fact that it was really about exposure, for the Japanese scene and the Western scene, I think sending our 2 biggest teams was, the best 2 teams to send. So that's kind of just my thoughts on it. There wasn't really anything I wanted to do. Let me just make sure. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say about the Platinum Cup. Hopefully people saw that, and there was kind of some controversies because Kiver tweeted out that he didn't think his other teammates were trying as hard, not call-outs. Personally, I don't blame them for being like super gung-ho. I mean, you don't see professional athletes, playing super hard in an all-star game or, like amateur event, like a pro-am or, a charity event. It's more about good feelings, being positive, having fun. And that's really what the event was. It wasn't, to prove who's the best. It was just, to take part in a mutual event and kind of bring the two scenes together. So that's it for my report. Well, let me get to the second part. I told you guys I was going to do a section at the end for comments, and I did get a comment on my my why Tandem missiles are bad video, so I wanted to feature it. Like I said, leave me some comments in the below about what you think about Inkstorm or Platinum Cup. What your thoughts on it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know that, and I will feature your comments. So this is from Just Call Me Stevie. The funny thing about missiles is that not only are you out of the fight for too long to capitalize, but the overall impact is pathetic. In my opinion, missiles don't just need a buff, but a complete rework. Here's what I have in mind. The reworked missiles would be more akin to a mortar, keeping the reticle on a targeting mechanic. Twist would be, instead of following the target, missile would endlessly rain on target position for 8 seconds. Can be extended with super power-up. Once locked on, the missile launcher will be dropped, then left to fire for the remainder of the special period. The launcher would then be considered a breakable object with the same HP as Brella. This would not only give the user ample time to take advantage of said missiles, but also locks a vantage point, risk trait brought off for the opponent. It's not invincible, but could be very potent. Alright, thank you for your comment. Just Call Me Stevie. I mean, that would definitely work. Almost like a buffed up Inkstorm, not Inkstorm when I say Ink Strike. That could just lock down an area for an extended period of time. And obviously having that sort of mortar mechanic would lead to some counterplay, at least, in case it was too strong. I've seen this suggestion. I think Hitzel also brought something similar to it up. I mean, that'd definitely work. The only thing is, I always doubt whether Nintendo will actually go that far. I never really seen, a complete rework of anything in Splatoon, or even, any of their games like Smash. I know, some other competitive people have done reworks of their characters. And that's definitely a good thing. I just don't really see a precedent for it. So it's probably unlikely to happen. It could definitely work. Another suggestion I thought would be good is, instead of the missiles, falling down really quickly, they fall down more individually, you need to just really buff up the blast radius. That way it's kind of a little harder to dodge, and stagger out a little bit so it keeps them running. Who knows? Hopefully they do something with it, because I think it really needs a buff. Right now it's just not good. I mean, even Splashdown at least gives you some... You can kind of get a kill with it, if they're not fast enough to hit you, and it refills your ink tank. With missiles, on a lot of these weapons like NZAP, it's... What is it doing? It refills your tank, but you take yourself out of your fight for a while. It kind of annoys people. Maybe some ink coverage, or maybe they could really buff up the ink coverage. I don't know, but something needs to be done. I really appreciate your comment, Stevie, and other guys. Come on, leave me some comments. Give me something to talk about. All right, guys, that's it for my report. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day.